What's up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another video for y'all. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Alright, y'all, it is finally time that we had our discussion about Spark. This is going to be for all those people who may be interested in joining Spark. So we're going to talk about everything, all the way from how to sign up, all the way to when you get paid. So let's go ahead and dive in. So what is the Spark app? So Spark is a delivery app that allows you to make deliveries from Walmart, Sam's Club, and other associated stores. Now, the other stores can vary based off your market and the zone that you choose to deliver in. For my zone, I have Home Depot, GameStop, Advance Auto Parts, the Apple Store, and Sally's. So some of these stores you may or may not have in your market, and there might be some other stores that you have in your market that I didn't mention, but you're going to be completing deliveries from these various stores. So most of the deliveries are going to be curbside pickup and deliver. You have pharmacy deliveries, you have shop and deliver, and occasionally you might have a customer return where you have to pick up merchandise from the customer's house and return it to a Walmart. But you have a handful of delivery types to choose from. So you're interested in joining Spark. How do you sign up? So signing up for Spark is pretty simple. You're going to navigate to driveforspark.walmart.com. Once you reach the webpage, you're going to click sign up. And the first thing it's going to ask you is, where do you want to deliver? So you're going to have to enter in your zip code. Once you enter in your zip code, it's going to give you this list of zones in your area. Now, on initial glance, it might say there's only 5 or maybe 3 pickup locations. But if you click into that zone, it'll actually give you more details as far as all of the pickup locations. It's usually a lot more. So you can look through each of those zones to see what will work best for you. Now, once you've decided on a zone, it's going to take you to another page where it's going to ask you for your phone number, ask you if you're at least 18, and it's also going to ask you, do you work for Walmart or Sam's Club? Now, that's the only downside of Spark. If you are a Walmart or Sam's Club employee, you cannot use the Spark app, and that's just a policy that they have. So keep that in mind. If you already are employed there, you can't do Spark. So after you complete that screen, 1 or 2 things are going to happen. Now, when I first signed up for Spark, I received this message right here stating that they weren't looking for any more drivers. So if your zone is full, you might receive a message like this. But don't worry, just keep trying and you might eventually be able to get on the app. And that's exactly what I did. This was back in September and I didn't get on the platform until around December. Now, if it does allow you to go ahead and continue the application, it's going to ask you for all your basic personal information, and it's going to ask you for your car information, the insurance, and all the information that you need to complete a background check. Now, as you go through the process, you're going to receive text messages just to kind of keep you up to date and let you know where you are in the application process. Now, once you get to the background check portion, it's going to let you know that it's going to take 1 to 7 business days to complete the background check. Yes, 1 to 7 business days. It seems like an odd range, but you know, it is what it is. And once everything comes back and you're good, you're going to receive a message stating that you can go ahead and download the app, sign in with the email address that you provided, and you can use a generic password to sign in for the first time. And from there, you're ready to go. So you finally got approved to work for Spark. How do you get your first delivery? So once you sign into the app for the first time, the first thing you're going to see is this home screen, and you have a few different options here. So when you're ready to go ahead and actually take orders, you're going to click on the Spark Now button that's in the upper right hand corner, and you can choose how long you want to do deliveries. You can do as little as 30 minutes or you can do 3 or 4 hours. Now, if something comes up in the middle of your shift and you're in between offers, you can go back to that same section and you can turn yourself off so you can stop receiving offers. And if you decide, you know what, I want to stay out for a couple more hours, you know, I don't want to end at noon, maybe I want to go until 2 o'clock. You can go to that same section and you can extend your hours, so you can add on however many hours that you want to do. So when you turn yourself on, your screen is going to change a little bit. You're going to see this little magnifying glass that's going around, it's looking for offers for you. Now, you're not going to just start receiving offers from every single store in your zone. No, you actually have to be close to a store and then you'll start receiving offers. So yes, you have to be in close proximity of a store. So if there's a Walmart that's like 3 or 4 miles from you, you'll probably see some offers from that Walmart, but you're not going to see any offers from the Walmart that's like 10 or 15 miles away. Now, what I like to do, I turn on Spark when I'm about to leave the house. So that way, while I'm on the way to the store, if something pops up, I can go ahead and grab it. You don't have to be right in the parking lot to go ahead and get an order. Like I said, you can be en route and still get orders. Now, there's a message, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it says proximity to hotspots will have a better chance of getting more offers. Now, I'm not gonna dive too deep into this on this video because this is more or less a how-to, but I'll definitely talk about this when I do my pros and cons video. But according to the app, like it said, if you are near an area that's super busy or a hotspot, you're gonna probably receive more offers. So to see if there are any hot zones, you're gonna go ahead and click on your zone, and that's in the lower left-hand corner of that home page. And you're gonna see all of the stores that are in your area. So according to the legend, if there is a orange aura around a store, that means that it's moderately busy. Now, if it's a red aura around that store, that means that it's very, very busy. So if you can go ahead and head over to those stores because you're more likely to see more offers from them. Now, if you see a store that doesn't have anything around it, that doesn't necessarily mean that there are no offers available. No, you can still get offers. It's just not that busy. And these fluctuate throughout the day. So you got to come back to this fairly frequently to go ahead and see what's busy in the area. And you can decide whether or not you want to navigate to that store versus going back to the store you just completed a delivery for. The other thing you can see on this screen is like a little chart showing the busy times throughout the day. You can kind of use this as a reference to decide whether or not when you want to actually go out and do Spark. So obviously the higher the bars, the more busier it is around that time. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean you won't get orders during those lower times, but you can use it as a reference. Of course, you know your market. You should know how your market operates. So you can use this data to your advantage, or you can just go off of your own experiences and what you know as far as what areas are busy, around what times, and all of that. Now, when you do get an offer, that home page is going to change again, and it's going to state that you have however many offers available, and you're going to have a check mark on your screen. Now, you can go view those offers by clicking on trips at the bottom of the screen. Now, quick tip, I would say always stay on this offers page, because if you're at the home page, you got to go ahead and click on another button to navigate here, and within those 2 to 3 seconds, that offer that was available, it could be gone just like that, because all of these offers, they're first come first serve. So if you're wasting your time, looking through your zones or just staying at the home page looking at incentives and looking at earnings and all of that, you can miss out on an offer. So stay on this offers page at all times so you do not miss any offers. This page will automatically refresh. You don't have to drag it down. You don't have to click on the button to refresh. It's going to automatically pop up with offers as they come through. Now, when an offer does come up, like I said, they're first come first serve. So you can look at the initial information that it gives you. It's going to tell you to pay, the mileage, the type of order that it is, the store that you're going to have to go to, and the time that you have to pick up. So if it's ASAP or if there's a certain time you have to be there for pickup. And usually based off of that information, you can decide whether or not you want it. But if it's a batch order, for instance, you might want to know where exactly do I have to go. So you can actually click on the offer and see some more details. You can see all of the information as far as the delivery addresses, where you have to go and how many items are tied to each of those orders. So you can view all that information if you like. But again, keep in mind, this is first come, first serve. So do not spend too much time trying to analyze the order. Okay, well, if I do this, carry the 2 and do that. Like, you don't have time for all of that. Those really good offers are gonna go by quick. So if you see something that you like initially, if you want to go ahead and get a little bit more detail as far as where exactly you got to go, you can click into it, analyze it for maybe like a second. And if it looks good, accept it, because you don't want it to go ahead and go away. I've literally seen some offers where I looked at it, I literally thought about it for like a half a second. I said, and in the middle of my it was already gone. I couldn't even finish my thought. I couldn't even, like, literally, you have to go ahead and pick up these orders like as quickly as you can. The other thing I like to mention as well, this does kind of help you with deciding whether or not you want to take the order. Sometimes there's little tags that's at the bottom of the order. So it might say something like apartment or bulky item or 40 to 50 pounds, perishable, little things like that. And from there, you might be able to decide whether or not it's something you want want to take. You know, maybe it has alcohol and you're not too comfortable with delivering alcohol. If it says apartment, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to climb some stairs, so you don't have to take that. So that does kind of help you a little bit more, so you don't have to click in and kind of analyze the details. They kind of put everything right there for you on the initial offer at the beginning. But after all that's said and done, if it is an order that you like, just hit accept and the offer is yours. So you just picked up your first order. What do you expect for pickup and delivery? Now, each delivery type in each store, they all have their own set of instructions. Now, I could probably be all day explaining every single thing that you need to know about every delivery type in every store, but I'm gonna try to make this as brief as possible. Only thing I can really say is just pay attention to all of the steps that it gives you. It gives you everything step by step that you have to do. You can't complete one without doing the one before. So only thing you have to do is just go through the instructions and you'll pretty much be good to go. But as a brief overview, if you are doing a curbside pickup for, say, Walmart or Sam's Club, you have to go and park in one of the pickup parking spaces, select in the app which space you parked in, and the store associate will come out with the merchandise and load your car for you. The only non-Walmart and non-Sam's Club order that I've done so far is just an Apple Store order. I just had to go into the mall to the Apple Store to actually pick up the merchandise. Now, for the shop and delivers, you literally have to go in and do the shopping yourself. So on screen, it's going to have everything that the customer is requesting, and it should go in order alphabetically and numerically depending on the aisle. So if the first item is A5, it's going to start you on A5, and then it's going to take you to A10, and then A20 and A30. It should go in order, so you're not kind of bouncing around all over the place. It should, at least. So it'll tell you what aisle each item is in, which section, which module of the aisle. Now, I'm still trying to learn how to read the aisles in the store, but as long as you're in the right aisle, you should be good to go. You can tell what's what. You know, obviously bread is going to be in this section. You might just have to look for a specific brand, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory there. You just have to go ahead and scan the barcode of the item, making sure you're getting the appropriate quantity. And if there's an item that's not there, sometimes the customer will list a substitution. If you can find a substitution, great. If not, you might have to try finding your own substitution, or just mark it as not found so the customer gets a refund for that item. Now, once you're done shopping, you just have to go to the self-checkout area. Everything is already prepaid, so you don't have to worry about swiping a card or doing anything like that. So on the self-checkout area, there's going to be a QR code on the screen. Within the app, you're going to scan that QR code, and then you're going to get a notification stating that an associate's going to come over and check your cart. And that's just because, you know, they want to make sure that you didn't throw anything in there that doesn't belong to the order. So they'll go ahead and check your cart, make sure you got everything you're supposed to get, and then you can go ahead and bag up everything. Now, before you leave the store, there is another message that's going to come up on your screen, and it's going to have another QR code, and this is more or less the receipt. So you know how Walmart, sometimes they have the people at the door, they like to go ahead and check your receipt and check what's in the cart. Make sure you leave this up on screen just in case you get stopped, so they can go ahead and check, make sure you got what you're supposed to have. I know another associate already checked it for you, but you know how it is. They like to check before you leave. So make sure you leave that up on screen. They will literally give you so many opportunities. They're going to ask you, have you really left the store? Make sure, because if you don't, you can't get back to the screen. So make sure you leave that up until you walk out of those doors. And once you leave, you can go ahead and get your car loaded up. Now, for customer returns, you're obviously going directly to the customer's house first. They should have a barcode, and sometimes that barcode might be on their phone. They might have it printed out. So after you scan the barcode, it's going to ask you verify that you have the actual item. You know, you don't want to be having a vacuum cleaner return and it's actually a bag of rocks or something. So make sure you have the appropriate item, and you just take it to the store, park in a pickup spot, and somebody's going to come out and grab it from you. Again, most of the time you just have to follow all of the prompts. Everything does tell you what you need to do. Now, the only one I haven't done is a pharmacy order, so I don't really know what that looks like. I'm assuming you're just going to go ahead and give the name to the pharmacist, and they're probably going to need you to verify some information. You get the prescription and you take it to the customer. You probably just need a signature, if I had to guess. Now, for the delivery of the other orders, if it's just a standard curbside pickup and deliver, most of the time you just have to drop everything off at their front door, take a picture, and a delivery is complete. Now, if you have alcohol, you will have to get an ID, And for some reason, the scan feature for my phone, I don't know if it's my phone or if the app is just buggy, I don't know. The scan feature doesn't really work for me. I've constantly had issues with it. So unfortunately, if you're having issues with the scan feature for the ID, you will have to manually enter in the information on the ID. So that includes the ID number, the name, date of birth, expiration date, all of that. You have to manually enter that in. So that's the only downside to it. The same will be for the shop and deliver, depending on whatever items you're delivering. If you got alcohol, you'll need ID. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and drop it off, mark where you're delivering it, take the picture, and that's pretty much it. Again, just following all of the instructions. It can vary depending on the store. Sometimes you need a signature, sometimes you don't. When I did the Apple order, I needed to have a signature. Sometimes you might have to verify that you have the appropriate order. Maybe you have to scan a barcode on the items. Like I said, just follow the instructions, you'll be good. So you just completed your first delivery. Now, how do we get paid? So payment is super easy. Now, once you get approved for Spark, you're gonna be asked, how do you want to receive payment? And I was given two options. So I was given the option to have my earnings go to a branch account, or I could have it go to a one account. So I ended up choosing the one account primarily because you can actually earn interest and you get cash back by using the debit card. Now, you can look at the differences between the two. Maybe branch works for another person, but I've been using the one account and I've had no issues with it so far. So make sure you go ahead and do your research on each of the accounts before you decide. But like I said, I went with the one account. So once everything's been approved, your account's been set up, you've been approved to drive, the moment you complete your first delivery, your earnings will be in that account. Literally the second you complete that delivery. Yes, you heard it correctly. Your money comes instantly. Now, there is a catch. There is a catch. Now, the only thing that does hit your account as soon as you complete your deliveries is going to be your base pay for that order. So your tips and incentives, all of that's going to come later on. Now, for the tips, they can be modified by the customer for up to 24 hours. So you're actually not going to see those hit your account until 24 hours later after you completed that delivery. Now, the incentives, those can take up to 48 hours to appear in your account. So if you got an extra $3 per delivery, or you completed 5 trips and got an extra $20 or $30 or whatever, it'll say that you've completed the incentive in the app, but you actually won't get that money hitting your account until at least 48 hours later. But even though you have to wait for those additional monies to hit your account, I still think that it's pretty great that you literally get your base pay money sent to you instantly. I don't think you can really beat that unless everything gets sent to you at once, but I can understand they might need to do some verifications. And again, with the tips, I don't know if there is a thing of tip baiting on here. I have not experienced tips being taken back. I have had tips added on. So hopefully there is no risk of getting tip baited. Now, again, this is my experience with the one account. Now, if they have instant pay with the branch account, I'm not really sure because I don't have a branch account. So you might want to go ahead and do a little bit more research if you do decide to go with the branch account instead of the one account, just in case there are any differences with pay between the two. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything that you need to know about Spark. Now, if you guys have any questions about the Spark app, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. Now, before I do my outro, I have to remind you guys that I did post a question on the community tab. I asked if you guys have any questions for a Q&A video because I want to do a Q&A video. So you're welcome to leave me questions. They can be questions about me personally. Maybe you want to get to know a little bit more about me, or they can be about gig work in general. As long as it's an appropriate question, I'll go ahead and include it in the Q&A video whenever I do decide to do it. So please, if you have questions, make sure you add them to that post in the community tab. Now, before I go, I have to remind you guys to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a video. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. And as always, stay safe out there and keep grinding.